Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Welcome, race fans, to Iowa Speedway tonight, race number 6 for Wagner's Welding Truck Series of the Roughneck Racing League. We're Speed Zone TV. I'm Robert Warrens bringing you the action tonight. It's going to be a spicy one. This track is going to produce a lot of different grooves tonight. So, just taking a look at it, we're going to be 66-degree track temp, cloudy skies right now, 15-mile-an-hour winds with a whole bunch of humidity. This is a 7/8 mile and really multi-groove track. These drivers are just gridding up now, and we're excited to see them. We got 21 cars in the field tonight, and, well, just a bunch of different action that's going to start happening here. So, rolling off our grid, our pole sitter tonight will be the 29 machine of Jimmy Pylan. Outside is 98 at Copperthorne. Third, 46 of Adamson. 30 at Wagner. 77 Sprinkle in fifth. 96 at Barker in sixth. The 3 machine of Hurst. Seventh, Presley in the 44 in eighth. 27 Hunter in ninth. 74, our current points leader in the series, Hennings in 10th, Richards in the 56 machine in 11th, Fairman the 99 machine in 12th, I believe the 05 machine of Lazier in 13th, Beebe the 83 machine in 14th. Let's just flip that over there. Quickly rolling through the rest of the field there. The 08 machine of Aguilar in 15th. Feidler in the 66 car in 16th. Manning in the 78 machine. And then 18th is Ramsey, the 13 machine. 52 is Richards. Wilkinson, the 18 machine, in the 20th position. And rounding out the field is the 84 machine. Little scattered there right at the start, as we're getting all set up for you to see the action tonight. And these drivers are going to be locking down for 150 laps at Iowa Speedway. Pace car lights are out. Beautiful looking facility. We were in practice today. Times were running around the 23-second lap times, low 23-second laps. And I think that, with tire fall off and whatnot, savings is going to be super important here for these drivers to really just settle down, let the race come to them, because it's easy for these trucks to get away and slide. And as soon as you start heating up those rear tires, it's not going to be something that you want to do, because that truck is going to be hard to handle. Pace car's getting ready to duck away. Pylan down on the inside. Great start. Adamson in behind. Follows through with Copperthorne on the outside, just being conservative. These drivers are able to make it through the first corner clean. Great job by the field. Looks like the 77 machine has got a little blinksy. Showing a crash in the 56 machine, but the yellow flag is out now. Take a look at our Speed Zone TV instant replay and see what happened. Taking a look at the 76 machine. Be coming down the backstretch here. Going into turn 3. Rolling into the corner. Looks like the truck just goes into a yaw and starts to get away. BB in behind, and the Three Musketeers with the '05 machine of Luzier. Jaguar just squeaks by on the high side. 78, 66, 52, 13. Good job by the drivers here to split, and no carnage happened. Great job by everyone to make it through there. You know, it's going to restack up the field here, and we'll go back to live action. That's going to be our first caution for the night. Taking a look at our leader, Pilot in the 29 machine, last week's winner. And so far, you know, setting a good qual lap, getting out in front. I think strategy is going to be a big factor here tonight. You know, if we see a caution you know, considering the tires that these drivers have, it's going to be very important to use those tires wisely, as tire fall off here is very substantial. So as I mentioned earlier, you know, race number 6, so far we've had 4 different winners in the Wagoner's Welding Truck Series. Hennings is one of them, Pilot is one of them, Adamson is one, and Morton, we haven't seen him back out since he clinched that win. Just came home, took the trophy, and ran away with it. 74 machine is our current leader. We'll just take a peek at him. Right, meow. That's our current points leader, Brian Hennings. Second in points right now is the 29 machine of Pilot. Third in points is the 46 machine of Adamson. 96 machine currently 4th in points. And rounding out our top 5 in points is that 3 machine of Hurst. So, you know, these drivers are in quite a tight battle for points right now. And just looking at the points, it's just, you know, separated by 21 points in between the 3 of them. And this 7/8 mile of a track is going to breed a whole bunch of different styles of racing. So, you know, last week we're at Phoenix and we saw a few different drivers sneak up to the front and claim their stake of fame by setting fast paces. But, you know, Pilot was able to squeak out the victory there. But, you know, next week I think we're headed off to Talladega? Question mark. Let's take a look at the schedule. Oh, my bad. We're going to Auto Club next week for 100 laps, and then Talladega after that, Nashville Super Speedway following that, and Charlotte, and North Wilkesboro and Kansas. Base car's just stuck in. Green is out again. Pilot rolls the start quite well. Big jump. Take a look at these drivers as they come down the backstretch here. 3 and 4. Seeing some 3 and 4 wide racing early on. Great job by these drivers, just getting some laps in, letting the tires heat up, warming it down. Adamson challenging Pilot, looking low on the inside into 3. This is going to be very interesting to watch the battles tonight, because there is 2 distinct grooves. Well, there's like 5 different grooves in both the corners, actually. And it's very easy to run a different line and still get the speed and perhaps battle off that driver from overtaking him. But it's early on in the race. We're 9 laps into our 150 battle here, and it might just, you know, not be the time to fight it out. Leaders are coming up on the lap car, gets out of the way. a look at our battles a little bit further back. Take a look at the 83 machine of BB. Currently, BB's running 9th. He's up 5 positions tonight. With his best lap was the last lap at 23.6. And looking at the field, he's definitely in the realm of where he needs to be for lap times to be a front runner tonight. Adamson's able to get around Pylon, and Wagoner is now looking at Pylon as a little dinner snack. Estimated fuel window is around 75-ish laps with 15 gallons of fuel. Lots of racing left. Around, let's take a look at where some action is in the field for you guys. Looking at the 78 machine of Manning. Rocking the High Rock vodka. A little vodka would be nice right now. Hurston behind him. Looking low here. Hurst is able to complete the pass. Manning doesn't fight too hard. Next battle we got here, we'll take a look at the 96 machine of Barker. In front of Barker is Copperthorne in the 98 car, with BB in behind. All drivers are running around 23.7, 23.8 lap times in the top 6. Down into turn 1. Driver's using the middle groove right now. Well, one thing I always like to do is bring a little perspective around wheel inputs. I think that's kind of very important. And wheel input is what really tells you as a viewer at home of how somebody's tires are going to last. And it's very important to see. So, you know, we're going to pick on Barker right now because we got the camera on him. Take a look at his turn 3 here. Nice and smooth, not too much wheel input. Gets out of turn 4, excellent. Doesn't slide the truck around. BB charges underneath. You can see him just in the left-hand side of the screen in the roll bars. Barker is points racing in the long game. BB falls in the line. You can see him in the mirror there. Alright, we've picked on Barker enough. Let's take a look at Sprinkle. Seeing a little bit more wheel input from Sprinkle right there in the center of the corner. A little sawing on the exit down the front stretch. So looking at the wheel or the red marker as a time position, you can see that Sprinkle is probably a little closer to the 10 or 9 mark at certain points, meaning there's a little bit more wheel input from him than what we just saw in Barker. Next driver here we're going to pick on is Wagoner, the man himself. Down into turn 3. And around the 10, 11 position. Little slide there, but straightens it up. Down into 1. Nice and smooth corners, like very similar inputs to what Barker was. Less wheel input than Sprinkle. Our next driver we'll pick on here is Pylon. Turns it down in the center. Car stopped up high. That's the 96 machine of Barker. No caution. Well, the caution is out now. See if we can find out. We're just so tuned in on what's going on here. We were just watching Barker, so let's call on the cameraman here and see what our Speed Zone TV instant replay has for us. Into 3 and 4, BB comes up and tags Barker. Slight damage on the rear of the car. Tough break. Hopefully Barker's able to just get the damage fixed and not use a fast repair right now. That'll be a tough break, but he does a good job of, keeping it on the wall and not having other people gather up in that. And that's going to bring out our second caution tonight for the Wagoner's Welding Truck Series for Roughneck Racing. These guys are on season number 6. We've seen some great racing so far of the 5 races that we've covered with 4 different winners. Back under live action here. 26 laps underway. Take a second to thank our sponsor, Wagoner's Welding, who is making this truck series happen at Roughneck Racing. Just roll this commercial and be right back.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
All right, we're back. Seen a lot of different lines as far as the racetrack goes right now, and we've seen a couple people enter the pit, so now we're going to start to see a little bit of tire strategy as far as fresh tires coming into effect. But navigating a 21 car field and getting back up through the field is actually going to be quite challenging, because drivers are able to run different lines and hold off the charge. Just wait a couple more laps and we'll be able to look in on a totality of pit strategy. Lights are off on the pace car. Drivers are going to get tightening their belts one more, well, probably more than one more time, but we'll be going back under green flag action. Sprinkle on the outside of Pylon. With Hunter in behind and Manning on the outside, so definitely a mix of pit strategies now. It looks like about 8 cars have elected not to pit. So if there's another quick caution or a caution in 10 to 15 laps, it's going to be very interesting. But these drivers haven't set that pace similar to what they set in Q. So they're running 5 to 6 tenths slower as a race pace than what they did in Q. Pylon's off with Sprinkle on the outside. Big jump from those guys that are able to separate from the rest of the field. Take a little further look back and put the camera on Ramsey in the 13 truck. You can see he's in a gaggle of cars. Henning's on the back of Hurst with Aguilar on the bottom. 18 machine of Wilkinson. We haven't seen him in the field before. Now you can see where the new tires are starting to put pressure. Oh, wrecking in behind. That's Wilkinson. Sliding through the grass. Cameraman's got to wake up and find it. That'll be our third caution of the night. See if we can find a little bit more of a replay for you guys at home tuning in tonight. My oh my. A little too quick of a caution here, and what I was hoping is that you know, we were gonna have a little bit more of a run opposed to you know, just a couple laps there. So we'll take a look. We're looking at the 18 machine of Wilkinson right now. Pop into the far chase cam, and I'm just gonna back it up a couple frames for you guys at home so you get to see it here. 18 enters low, goes into a yaw and just drifts. Fireman gets into him pretty hard. Hopefully his nose is okay. Pop on to Fairman here. If I can squint one eye and find him. Take a look at your chase. Fairman. I mean, a little bit of right front damage. Hopefully it's not too bad. Back to live action now. It's your Speed Zone TV instant replay. Wilkinson's coming out of the pits. Now we'll get to see how pit strategy is played out. Take a look at our pit laps here. And it looks like Hyland, Sprinkle, Hunter, and Presley, the 44 machine, haven't pitted. The 6 machine I'm showing has not pitted as, or sorry, the 08 machine of Aguilar has not pitted as well, and the 78 machine of Manning hasn't pitted. But you can see now in the top 10 or in the top 8, Adamson and Hennings have both pitted on lap 25 and are likely going to be able to make a little bit more of a charge now. I think once we get underway, once again, we're going to get to see what the strategy looks like for these drivers. Got one more lap under caution before we start rolling again. About a minute a pace lap here. A lot of time to think and wonder, you know, should I be running the high line? Should I be running the low line, or somewhere in the middle? Am I saving tire? You know, these guys are set. Well, majority of them are set to go about the cautions around to lap 85. So technically, if it was to go green right now, everyone's going to need one more stop, and there's going to be a trade-off point to say, you know, am I going to pit here or there, and is pocketing tires a good strategy? I'm pro pocketing tires here. And the lights are off on the pace car. You see all the haulers on the infield. Beautiful facility. There's approximately, 10 to 12 degree banking at Iowa Speedway. This is actually owned, track's owned by NASCAR, which you don't see every facility is owned by NASCAR themselves, right? So, very interesting. Under green again, finally gets a great start. Adamson's going to be making the charge here. Those freshies. Beep, beep. I got to burn the stickers off these rubbers. Aguilar charging the bottom. Greasy down there. Henning's under. Hunter. Now now under sprinkle. Wagoner goes into a drift, able to catch it. Quickest lap time right there was a 23.46 by Adamson in the P2. There's a lot of racing left though. For you viewers at home, 38 laps of the 150. Speed Zone TV bringing you action tonight. I'm Robert Warrens for the Wagoner's Welding Truck Series. And we've been under 3 cautions where a mix of drivers have taken tires, but I think what we're going to see is how this tire strategy plays out. Adamson looking to fire off on Highland. He's going to get a run on the high side here. Cross him over. That's going to be the lead. Let's take a look at the 44 machine of Presley. Currently labeled the 17. Wagoner gets around. Ramsey's going to get around as well. As they battle into turn 3. Take a look at another battle on the track. '84 and the 05, Hawkins and Lussier. Wilkinson in behind. Can use me some chicken nuggies right now. 6-pack to fix me up, you know what I'm saying? Dip. Oval 1 machine's gonna look on the inside of Ramsey. Down into 1. Hennings crept up and stole the lead away. I don't know if Adamson's engaged a strategy to save a little bit or what. These drivers are running 23 6s, 7s, and 8s in and amongst the top 5. A little bit slower further back in the low 24-second laps. Island's fighting off fresher tires of Adamson and Aguilar. Potentially going 3 wide here. Down the backstretch. Battle for P2 right here. That 08 Adidas machine. Just trying to get a run. Oh, gets a slide again. Adamson behind, checks up just a bit. Don't want to be pushing those tires and heating them up too much because you're going to pay for that in about 20 laps. Long green run. 3 cautions so far. 47 laps in. We are almost 1/3 of the way into the race. Taking a look at the 30 machine. The dripped out chrome Ford. Roughneck Racing on the side. Take a look at the battle between BB and Manning. Like BB's already gotten around. The cameraman was sleeping. Oh, there he is. Hey, BB. Tight up to the wall. Big battle here. He's able to make the pass. Getting hungry. Tight battle of trucks right here. Richards just made a move on Hawkins for the 16th position. Taking a look at now at Barker. Let's see how he's faring. Take a look to see if we see any visual damage on the back end of that car. As that could be, you know, why he is running a little bit slower. Or he could just be saving a bunch. One day at a time across the back. Like Barker's just being super duper patient. Not throttling it up too hard or anything. Back up with our leader. Hennings and the 74 machines open up a 1.4 second lead over Pylon, Aguiar, Adamson, Sprinkle, rounding out our top 5. Been a constant threat the whole season. Got a battle here for around P10. We'll go and take a look at the battle for P10. Let's give you an idea of those drivers. Wilkinson here, leading the pack of 6 or 7 cars. Those numbers are loading up for you on the screen. On board with the 78 now, the Manning. You can see from the camera angles, you know, whether you run the high or the low side, it's really about how you pick up the throttle and roll that corner. That makes all the difference. Kirsten Wagner, nose to tail, coming down the front stretch here. Good old Chevy versus Ford battle between the two of these drivers. Wagner's going to look low on the inside of 1 and 2. Cautious. Trying to get a run, but that low side always going to be challenged to get a run if there's a truck on that outside, because you can't straighten the wheel and just juice it up. You got to respect that driver on the outside. More battles. Yeah, they're still battling. Looking at around the P15 position right now. 58 laps in. Got Hunter, Ramsey, Lessier, and Richards in behind. Very patient driving here. Slow truck on the bottom. Machine. Tony Richards taking off some laps today. A bit further up in the field, we'll take a look at Sprinkle. Field loads back up for times. Looks like SDK went to sleep a little bit. Hennings is just checking out for lap times. he's opened up a 2-second lead. But surprisingly here, looking at lap times, is that Hennings ran a 24.2 the last lap. Hyland ran a 24.2 as well. Aguilar and Adamson ran 24.3, so a touch slower. And Wagoner, 24.2. Looks like that 30 machine has got front running speed, but has some ground to make up, about 3 seconds or so to start to clinch those other positions. Taking a look at that 66 machine of Idler. There's Moza Toyota. Trying to get some track position. He's a little bit off pace compared to the rest of the field, but you know, that could play to an advantage or a favor later in the run. Not pushing those tires as hard. Looking at Adamson and Aguilar, they're running kind of nose to tail here. Not sure if it's like team orders and a strategy. Adamson's running the middle high side of the track and Aguilar's on the bottom. I personally feel that both grooves are equally as good as each other, and it's just really about how you manage your driving style, not to abuse much. Looks like Pylon is slightly gaining on Hennings now. So, you know, we'll have to kind of watch that as it ticks down. Hennings is going to be able to pit around a lap 100. And if this stays green, I would imagine we're going to start to see some pit action happen around like lap 85-ish or so, for those that haven't pitted. Taking a look at Hennings now. We can pick on him. Let's go in his cockpit and see what those inputs look like. Going down into turn 1. Off the throttle early. Little counter steer. About a 10, 11 o'clock turn, both ends. All right. Take a look at our P2 island. About the same, 10, 11. Pylon is slowly catching. Adamson's turned it up a bit the last couple laps. It's Adamson's turn. Very similar inputs from the three drivers in the top three. See if we have any battles here. Looks like ninth of Wilkinson has Copperthorn. And 78 machine of Manning in behind. These drivers are going to make the most of it. Almost some contact there between 78 and 18. '78 is fighting to get around. This might be a kind of a tire strategy thing here. Let's take a look. Of course, it won't let me see right now. I'll have to come back and check on that a little bit later. It's like Island just ticking away, not very much faster, like a half-tenth here and there. Yellow's out. Ooh. We'll have to take a look at what happened there, but this kind of plays into the drivers that haven't pitted yet, because they're going to get to reset the clock, pocket a set of tires. Take a look at what happened there. There's a 99 machine of Fairman in the wall on the front stretch. Speed Zone TV instant replay. Here we go. Coming out of turn 4. Looks like just gets loose, hooks up to the wall in front of the leader. Hennings makes a great job. The leader's great job of just getting through. Hennings had a mirror full there. We'll back it up a second. Over to Hennings. Play. And here it comes. Boom. Great driving by Hennings. You can see your drivers do get slowed down, but there's really not a lot of time for a driver to make one of those quick call decisions. Let's back up one more time. We'll give you the viewpoint of the 29 machine. That was our P2s. The Fairman's drifted down the track, and there's really not a lot of room to go. So that'll be our Speed Zone TV instant replay. Tough break for Fairman. It seems that, he's had a couple good runs, but he's, might be struggling with some setup issues tonight on tonight's racing service. All right. So we'll have to see after the field starts to shuffle around as to what our field looks like. But, we've just had a 50-lap run. Everyone's going to want to come in and bolt on tires because they had fallen off 0.8 a lap from the pace that they were setting, from 23 5s and 6s to 24 3s, 24 4s. So race number 6 tonight underway. I believe that is our 4th caution. I might have lost count. I got a seniors moment over here. And, we got 150 laps. We're just over halfway now, about to tick off 80. Looks like those lap cars are going to pass the pace car. Since iRacing isn't counting. Is it counting cautions? I think it is. But I mean, technically from here, it's not hard for somebody to save a little bit of fuel and make sure that they got more than enough to go the whole way. Take a look at our starter. Got the green flag there, waiting for the cars to enter that zone. Hennings gets a good start. Aguilar underneath. 70 laps to go in the books. Caution is out. I mean, not really what these drivers want to see. We'll have to take a look at our Speed Zone TV instant replay, but this looks like it was a little bit further back in the field. Let's see who got involved. Our Speed Zone TV instant replay scrolling on me. Let's see. Get a different one. There we go. Like it went a little glitchy there. Can't really tell what happened. Get a different event here. It's looking like we won't be able to see what exactly happened, but I'm showing that Hunter and Hawkins both had some carnage there. We'll get back to some live action and see what's going on up front. Under yellow is waiting. Had to reload our overlay there so we could show Hennings was no longer in the pit. I'm not sure what was happening. We've seen some great racing so far. A couple different leaders. We saw Adamson and Pilon and Hennings pretty much have dominated the show right now. Adamson's sitting a little bit further back, and I think he's looking to run a slight different strategy. Not sure if got caught up in that carnage here, but he did enter the pits, so hopefully everything's okay. Coming down the pits here, I'm not seeing damage on that truck. Truck looks clean. Back to some live action here on the camera. Like Hennings is electing to start on the outside, and that might be just due to like grip. There might be a little bit more grip up at the top side that allows you to get onto the throttle just a touch more than somebody else on the bottom. Picking them away, those laps are going down. Now everyone's sitting to me on the same pitch strategy, pretty much. Everyone's come in on that 76. Lights are off on the pace car. Hennings is gonna get ready to fire off once again. Green's out and they're away. I haven't seen him up front this close tonight, but that's Hurst on the outside of Aguilar. Maybe he was just letting the paint dry a little bit more before he showed his speed tonight, but that 3 machine looks like he's ready to get a dance partner and do a little do-si-do. Big battle. Barker's making his way back up here. He's 7 now, so we saw him have some unfortunate contact with the 83 machine. And it looking like we got a little checkup. Yellow's out. Chris Ramsey is showing us the crash man. Here, we'll take a look at what happened from our Speed Zone TV instant replay. Just coming out. Ooh, 77, a sprinkle hard into the wall. And then Ramsey just really nowhere to go. I mean, that just probably happened so quick that there wasn't too much that Ramsey could do as far as, you know, reaction, because you can see him coming out of the corner here. The 77 is in yaw. Adamson's loose on the bottom. Sprinkle gets up to the top and, you know, really, ouch, no time to react. You know, we'll take one more different view at that. Back it up some. See if there was contact with anyone on 77 machine. I don't believe so. See Adamson and Sprinkle both get loose. As well, and I think that really maybe perhaps what Adamson was reacting to, just tapping the brakes and getting it to that point. Head over back to live action. That's our Speed Zone TV instant replay. Race number 6 tonight for the Wagoner's Welding Truck Series with Speed Zone TV, bringing you the action tonight. I'm Robert Warren, your host, trying to keep it all for you guys, like keep it all aware as to what's going on the track for you guys at home, for you guys viewing. There's still lots of racing left. 61 laps to go. And, you know, you're probably going to start to see a slight bit different pit strategy soon again, right? Like, we had that major pit stop on around lap 75, 76, and not sure if, you know, we're going to see somebody start to take tires soon. Like, if these quick cautions start to happen, we saw where the 29 machine stayed out for 25 laps, and the fresher tires kind of fell off to a point. And 74 and 29 were running relatively similar lap times after wear had settled down. Take a second to roll our commercial here for the Wagoner's Welding Truck Series, our sponsor, Wagoner's Welding. Definitely some damaged cars tonight that'll be hitting that shop and getting touched up.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
And we're back. Lights are off on the pace car. These guys are going to double up and get ready to rock and roll. I feel like Henning's truck was green last time. I feel like it was red. I don't know if he's like that's an emoji change or what, but if we get a chance to interview him, we'll have to see what exactly. Iowa's a beautiful facility under the lights here. As you can see, those cars shine and glimmer. Pace car's about to duck off. Take a look as they fire off. Hennings gets a great start. Aguilar looking under pylon again with Hurst in behind. Hurst looks low. That low side has been tricky for some drivers. Hennings a little loose. A little bit further back in the field now. battle box. Fifth to eighth here. Not sure what happened to Aguilar, but he looks like he is dropped. I'll have to go back and perhaps check out what happened there. Likely got a little loose. It's got to be the story for Aguilar tonight. He's been showing a ton of speed, but not a lot of patience, which might, take away a podium position for him tonight. Back up with our leader in P2. 23.3, 23.4 for their lap times, about a half tenth apart. Hennings is breaking away just a touch as they cross the line again. 23.45 to 23.52. Take a look a little bit further back in the field and see if there's any dances that we want to take a look at. Once again, the 78 machine and 18 are battling. 78 closes the door on the high side. We'll see if the 18 crosses them over going into turn one. It's not looking so. It looks like the 78 of Manning is going to complete the pass with Adamson and Richards. Benjamin Richards in behind, so great job here. Adamson is trying to make a charge to get towards the front of the field. He's been up there most of the night, and I think that where he needs to finish tonight is relatively strong to maintain his position in that points battle. Machine of Wagoner on your screen. Definitely has had a good run tonight so far, and we got another caution. I'll have to check out what happened here in our Speed Zone TV instant replay. Here we are. Speed Zone TV instant replay. Let's get a little bit up close and personal. Our bar chase cam, one of my faves. Down the backstretch into turn 3. Just in the middle of the corner. Might have juiced her up a little too much. And that's going to bring out the caution. That was a smart move there to stop on the... Oh, Lord. But not stop on the track. Lordy, lordy, lord. A tough break for Ramsey. Catching Sprinkle earlier in the previous one, and then just, now we're stringing together some bad luck of, maybe just the driver's in his head and has to collect his thoughts one more time. Back under the lives action. Bunch of drivers coming for pits. Seeing the 30 machine stay out on the track. .30 machine last pitted on lap 76, I am showing. A couple other drivers electing to stay out, so we're gonna have to figure out what the heck. Pretty sure we just saw Hennings roll through the pits and not do anything. Do a little rewind on that. I missed something. Wife tells me that all the time. Definitely no tires. Maybe just a splash of fuel for good luck. You can see Copperthorn and Pylon both have bolted on freshies. So, interesting here. We'll take a look at our pit stop times later on. Our current leader is now the 30 machine, James Wagoner, in his Roughneck Racing Ford. He's been pretty fast tonight, and I think what's going to be interesting is how these last 46 laps play out, and if we're going to see some more cautions that allow those fresh tires to get on up and squeak on up in the field. Lights are off on the pace car. Next week we are heading to Auto Club Speedway for 100 laps, and then we're going to be going to Talladega after that for a 60-lap throwback scheme. So it'll be see some beautiful cars at Talladega in 2 weeks. Nashville Super Speedway on the 30th, Charlotte on the 7th of May, North Wilkesboro on the 14th of May, and then Kansas will round out the season on the 21st. So, you know, we're just halfway through the series now once we're complete for tonight, and you know, we've had a mix of different drivers. 4 winners so far this season. One of them's not here, but we'll have to see how Wagoner handles Manning on the start here, as he's elected to take the high side. Great fire off by Wagoner. He's gone by about 4 or 5 car lengths right away. Got everyone else sleeping. Adamson says waits for me as he looks under Manning on the exit. Manning's been pretty good at running that high line tonight, so he might have a little bit of a struggle. Oh, spinning. 29 Pylon back around. I'll just rewind that. Fresh tires, they're dangerous. Take a look here. Hennings, Chase, Island. Nothing else going on. Just on the exit, you can see the truck start to slide. Hurst as well in behind. They might be synchronized swimmers because almost pirouette, just exactly the same, except Pylon comes around. Hurst is able to woe it up and save it, cut it through the grass. Field does a great job of avoiding it. No contact for anyone, just an unfortunate yellow flag. Has to head over back to live action here. Speed Zone TV. Second while we get this camera sorted. And we're back. It's going to be a tough break. You don't want to heat up those new tires like that. And it's looking like we've had some drivers pit now. This, you know, this could start to be where the pit strategy starts to come into play. As lights are still on the pace car, we'll just take a second to give a shout out to Wagoner's Welding Truck Series, who's the main sponsor of the series for Roughneck Racing Season 6. These guys foster a great community here, great group of drivers, a lot of patience and respect for everyone, shown on the track and off the track. Great community, like I said.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck.
And we're back once again. So drivers have 3 sets of tires in the pits to bolt on. We've seen majority of drivers take 2 sets. I'm not sure. I wish I had a tire counter, but there's no feature here that gives me any tire counts that I'm aware of. So I think majority of drivers either have 1 or no sets left, and we're going to be able to kind of tell if we see a caution around 130, 140 laps as to if somebody's going to be courageous and bolt on a set of tires and make a run for the prize. Lights are off on the pace car once again. Saw Wagoner get a great start on Manning, but now in the top 5 we have Richards and Lessier. And Aguirre on the inside with Hennings and P6. Hennings has been pretty fast. He didn't take tires. He rolled through the last time, so his tires are a few laps old. Green's out. Wagoner gets a great start again. I think, one of the things we have to kind of be mindful of is just further back in the field. And they're splitting and slicing and dicing back there. Abson wants to get to the front on the outside of Hurst behind Ramsey. A little bit further back, we got Barker on the outside of Heidler. Highland, are they going to go 4 wide? Oh, contact! 84 machine, I think on the 17. Oh, hard contact there. No caution. I want to just back that up and see what happened. Take a look at our Speed Zone TV instant replay. It looks like Barker's got heavy wheel damage. And you can see it right there. Does a great job of not bringing out the caution, but ultimately you can see the damage on that right front of the truck. That tire is dragging. Unfortunate break for Barker here. Was having a great run, but I do want to back it up for you guys at home. Take a look at a quick replay before we get back to live action. So you can see the 17 machine there. Let me switch the camera. We'll go to the blimpy. And we'll switch to Barker. Gets loose and I think just overcorrects. Pylan's very fortunate there to make it through. Get back to live action. He's finally made it to the pits. Tough break there. Wagner's doing a great job. 23.5 his last lap with Manning in behind. It seems that clean air might be what these trucks need to get them around the track as efficiently as possible. 23.7, 23.6, a couple 23.5, so not sure if there's enough time to make the most of these tires before they fall off. down the front stretch into turns 1 and 2. Taking a look at the field. Island looking low. Making the pass on Richards. 3.3 seconds back from our leader, Wagoner. And what you're going to start to see is how these tires start to play out. So Hennings did a pit fake. He's showing that he has one of the most recent pits here up front, but definitely a pit fake. Hurst bolted on tires, Copperthorne bolted on tires, and I believe we saw Adamson bolt on tires as well. So take a look at the battle here for first to fourth. Going to be interesting to see. Hennings looking under Manning. Slight contact. Manning does not want to give up the spot there. He's been very successful at running that high line. Hennings gets a little loose and has to back out of the charge. You can see Pylan and Adamson are not too far behind now. 27 laps to go at the line. I don't know if you viewers at home have popcorn, but you better go pop it now because this race is about to heat up. As Hennings is trying to get a good run on Manning with Aguiar in behind. He's just not able to. And you remember just a few laps ago, we talked about Pylan being 3.3 seconds back. He is now 2.3, looking to make a move on the 05 machine. So let's take a look at 05 and the 29. Lussier and Pylan charge into turn 3. Pylan's going to shut the door on the exit and look to make another move. Ooh, looks like Adamson got into the wall there. We missed that when we were looking at stats. And you could just see how close this battle's starting to heat up. Back up with our leader here. Wagoner has been able to open up a 1 second lead on second place. And Aguiar has now made a pass on Hennings with Hurst in behind, with Manning just opening up a 3/10 gap. A little bit of breathing room for Manning. He's making that high side work. And you can see that the gaggle of cars that are now just getting ready to duke it out. Island underneath the Copperthorne. Aguiar under Manning. Hurst under Hennings. Pylan complete. Wow. Great driving here as these drivers are shuffling in the top 7 positions just almost seamlessly. A lot of great racing here. 21 laps to go. Aguiar is making a charge at Wagoner. Looking at the lap times, 24:1 for Wagoner, 24:07. Aguiar gets a little loose on the exit of 4. Pylan's trying to get a run on Manning. going to get a good run down the backstretch here. This is where those tires are going to start to make the difference. Like, as a driver with fresh tires here, you're going to see they're going to be able to push a touch harder and get that run. But your man right now, the man in the hot seat, the man doing all the hard work, looking at his lap times, see Aguilar is charging in about 0.2 a lap now. Only, about 1/10 the last lap, or almost even from what I'm showing here. And, you know, he's able to just kind of balance it out. He's going to do a good job, Wagoner, of just holding off the fight. But there's fresher tires that are coming with only 17 laps to go. Those ones are going to be hard to hold off. So Hurst, Pilot, and Adamson. It's been an interesting night so far. Different strategies on the track. Hurst is now looking underneath Aguilar, and Pilot's going to try to follow through. They got to make quick work of these tires. They got to make the most of them. Slight contact, Aguilar and Pilot. Tough one to call there. Tough battle. These guys are going side by side into the corners. Aguilar's running down off the wall a little bit. Adamson is trying to get around Hennings now. Island's able to make the move on the outside. Good job for that 29 machine. Last week's winner is currently P3 with Hurst in front, 0.8 back of our leader, Wagoner. And looking at lap times now, it's going to be a spicy one. Put it on that 3 machine to show the lap times. Looking like Hurst and Wagoner are trading lap times, and Island is just a touch quicker, 1/10 or 2 quicker. Hurst tags a wall. That's going to be a tough one here. We don't know if Island's going to be able to get a run. "11 laps to go." 0.6 and 0.8 back of our leader, Wagoner. You can now see all 3 of them in the screen. And this is where it's always going to be very interesting, because Iowa produces that multi-groove racing. And really, it's going to come down to who makes a mistake now. Wagoner's lap times are now even with Hurst and Pilot. Aguilar and Adamson a little bit quicker, but they're a little bit further back. 9 laps to go, not a lot of time. Pilot ships her down low. He's drifting up, tight. He's going to have a good run. Hurst ships in deep. Gets on the bumps. You got to watch those bumps. Pilot's going to close the door, get the high side. Hurst tries to cross over. Here we go. That high side shows dominant. Pilot is able to clear Hurst for P2. Now let's see if Aguilar can make a move on Hurst or what. This is going to be an interesting battle. Henning's dropping a little bit further back. P6 now. Doesn't look like there's going to be a caution. On board with our leader, 30 machine of James Wagoner. This is going to be a Ford versus Chevy battle. Wagner's got to be diligent here and not allow Pilot to get to his outside. He's got to kind of roll the middle and protect the high side, and he'll 5 laps. But these are substantially. Ooh, Pilot brushes the wall. These are substantially older tires for Wagoner, so it's going to be a tall order. And Pilot's been very hungry with 4 laps to go with the line. This is our battle for the lead. Race number 6, Wagner's Welding Truck Series. Oh, slight contact. 29 tags the left rear quarter of Wagoner. Battle for the lead. Wagoner gets a little loose. Just speechless right now. This intense battle. We were at Bristol and we saw the win get taken away from Wagoner. With a late race incident, and I don't want to see that tonight, but Pilot's going to get a good run on the inside, but he's going to be held at the bottom of the track by Wagoner. Slight contact. Drivers are rubbing down the stretch. Man, oh man. There's no friends tonight. Pilot's going to be able to complete the pass, but, I think if both drivers had the same tires, and this is the final lap, Wagoner makes a charge. But our winner is going to be Pilot, followed by Hurst, Adamson, Aguilar, and then Wagoner running at the top 5. He made a big charge at the end there, but geez, that just ticked down. Like, it didn't even phase me for a second. I was so kind of entrenched in watching the racing that there was a great battle between those guys. But our winner tonight, that 29 machine, back-to-back dubs. And very interesting that strategy played out. These guys did a great job tonight. Little rough start, but they were able to kind of squeak out after 5 or 6 cautions and get it done at Iowa Speedway. Great looking field, great looking facility, multiple groove racing tonight. Race number 6 is now in the books for the Wagner's Welding Truck Series, and we brought you the action tonight. Speed Zone TV. Make sure that you're sharing this with your friends and your family. We saw a mix of different lap speeds, a mix of different tire or pitch strategies, and that's that. So maybe we'll see who we got for some interviews tonight. I think we'll grab Dale Adamson as our first interview, get his perspective on the race. What's up, Mr. Dale Adamson? Congrats on your P3 finish tonight in that 46 machine powered by EPI.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Tonight was very stressful, but
yes, it was.
I mean, qualifying was great. I mean, it was kind of unexpected with the 1 lap qualifying. They were kind of in a rush. I don't blame them. Starting from the mid half or P5, wherever I started, it was good. Just, I wish for a caution there to happen at the late run, coming to like 10 to go or 15 to go. Maybe I could have had it, but, I'll still take a P3.
Yeah, I bet. And it was interesting as we saw like the pitch strategies happen. Did you elect to take a slightly different pitch strategy there for a bit?
Actually, yeah, because I want to say the fuel strategy was kind of close. It was very cutting close, like cutting edges. I was trying to just short fuel it every stop I could when a caution came out to still make it with fuel at the end and fresh tires. It worked out pretty decently.
Yeah, pretty decent is right. I mean, you're gonna be sitting pretty happy as far as like the points battles go. What are your thoughts on when we go to Auto Club next week? Is that a track that you're gonna show some force at?
Auto Club, I call it a plate track, whatever everybody else calls it. I feel like Auto Club is going to be a strength track for people to save their tires, keep with the draft, try to eliminate having damage as well because it's aero dependent, I guess, for draft wise and keeping speed. So I'm expecting a lot of battles and, pitch strategies here and there, and can't wait till next week.
Yeah, I bet. And I mean, you did a great job of coming back through the field there on your pitch strategy. So hats off to you. You started in third tonight. You finished in third. So I mean, hats off for a great performance. Any reason why you switched up the paint? What do you got? School bus yellow? What's that all about?
It was a paint idea that I had in mind back then when I first started to get to know these guys at Race EPI. Good group of guys, open setup shop, obviously. But the idea I went with was one of the friends I made over there. He also had a paint like this, so I kind of wanted to switch it up tonight, run the yellow instead of the pink. But maybe next week I might run a Tony Bredinger. Who knows?
Who
Hopefully I don't wreck.
knows? Who knows is right. Well, congrats, Dale, on your P3 finish. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Speed Zone TV for an amazing broadcast. You, the race admins here at Roughneck Racing, all the drivers for putting on an amazing show. Um, minus the difficulties, technical difficulties. I want to thank Race EPI for sponsoring me at least, or I know I'm not a driver, but at least for the sponsor. And I want to thank my friends and family for supporting me back at home. And yeah, hopefully I can put on a show next week.
Heck yeah, brother. We'll see you in practice, and great job on your performance tonight. You definitely wheeled the heck out of that truck to get it done, and I hope to be speaking to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a great rest of your night.
Yeah, usual. That was our P3 finisher, Dale Adamson, giving you the rundown of what was going on. Next, we'll be taking a look at, I think it's a first-time interview for us at Speed Zone TV, Johnny Hurst here, and I'm interested to see, from his perspective, what he had going on. Johnny Hurst, congrats on your P2 tonight, sir.
How you doing? Appreciate it.
Yeah, heck yeah. Interesting race for you because you kind of were more of a top 10 truck, and then it was like that second half of the race where all of a sudden you were in the top 5 and you were in contention. What was your strategy tonight, and how'd you get to where you got?
Well, I kind of screwed qualifying up. I didn't realize we had just one lap, and then going in the race, I forgot to take it off my qualifying setup. And I just had to run it like it was. And I knew I had to do something to try to get fresher tires than the rest of them guys. So I just tried to play this pit strategy game there. And I don't know, man, if I just had a little bit more turn in the center, I probably could have took P1 tonight, but I'm happy with P2.
Yeah, I mean, from your perspective, you got to see a good battle between Pilon and Wagner, and they touched doors a couple times. And, were you up on the wheel, ready to react and capture that?
Well, I was kind of hoping they'd take each other out. It kind of looked like they was. Me and Aguilar there, we had a good battle for third. And when he kind of got loose there, I got out of the gas, rolled out. So my only option is really just ride around, see what happened with those two. And then I seen Dougie sail her down into 3 real hard and wash up the track. I thought, well, here's second. So
Yeah,
just kind of rolled with it.
Yeah, I agree there. That last lap there, he took a good charge at Pylon, and it almost looked like he tried to give him a little tag, but I mean that's kind of like indicative of short track racing, right? So,
oh yeah,
no harm, no foul. Everybody gonna put it in the hauler, I guess.
Yeah.
But going to Auto Club next week. What's your strategy going into Auto Club?
I don't know. I like Auto Club. Auto Club's always been a good track for me. So, I mean, Iowa has too. I think this was the first time I've ever run Iowa in a truck. So, I might be wrong on that, but I like Iowa. But I don't know. Auto Club, I mean, it's just a fast track. Should be some good racing, some good side by side. So, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, 100%. I'm interested to see what you're gonna do for Talladaga's throwback. So don't tell me now. Don't spoil the fans. But you better have something good, Johnny.
Oh, I've got something cooked up. Don't worry.
Heck yeah, brother.
It may even be a game as do you recognize this truck? Who knows?
I'm pretty bad at trivia, so I don't know how that's gonna work out for me. But congrats on your P2 finish tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
Man, I'd like to shout out Tim Richardson. He couldn't make it tonight. He's pretty down in his back this evening, so we was all missing him in chat out here on the track. I'd also like to thank the best sponsor around, James Wagner's Welding. Again, he does a lot for this league and a lot for these guys, so got to shout him out. So other than that, man,
Heck yeah.
That's it.
Heck yeah, brother. Well, Johnny, great job tonight on your P2 finish. It was interesting to watch you run. I've watched you, obviously, the last 5 previous races, and you've been in contention and you've been fast, but, it's nice to see you on the podium finally. You're sitting P4 in points after tonight, and you're definitely in contention to walk away with the championship when we're sitting halfway through the season. So I'm hoping to see you just keep stitched together the runs that you've been doing.
Yeah, I mean, finally starting to head it in the right direction, get a few things lined out. It's been a while since I've parked it in Victory Lane, but it's coming.
It's coming. Well, make sure you yell at your crew chief for leaving that Q set in. And,
I'm going to smack him around.
Well, hopefully it's consensual.
All right. Appreciate you, bud.
Yeah, have a good night, Johnny.
You too.
That was our P2 finisher, Johnny Hurst. You heard it from him. A whole bunch of great racing on the track, respectful driving, and shout out to the Mins at Roughneck Racing. We're going to pull in our winner tonight. Back-to-back wins for Jimmy Pylon. Jimmy, what was going through your mind the last 5-10 laps? Were you sweating?
A little bit. I was definitely sweating, but before I go any further, I apologize to one driver, but I'm gonna apologize to the other. I would like to apologize to Doug for almost spinning him coming up off of 4. I think it was and correct me what lap it was, Robert. I think it's 5 or 6 to go, I think. And I was running them close, but I got into them and almost spun them, and I just wanted to apologize again to Doug. That's not the way I like to race. But I enjoyed it, Doug. Again, I am sorry, man.
I mean, very respectful racing, Jimmy, and I think very, very accountable just to kind of own that. From my perspective, I think what the challenge is that there was over a 25 lap difference of tires. So, watching the 30 machine wheel and did as much as he could to hang on. Great fight, great battle, and you guys had some hard racing with a little, couple touches. So, I think like I said, very commendable for you to acknowledge that, and not your style of racing that we've seen from you, but back-to-back wins, and you deserve some kudos for getting it done and selecting the right pit strategy.
Yeah, I was a little skeptical on the strategy I had chosen throughout the race, but I just kept my head down, kept clicking away the laps, and kept my head in it. And when that one of those last cautions came out, I asked Johnny. I was like, "Do you think we should pit for tires?" And I kind of saw Brian kind of leaning towards pit road, showing that he might pit, and we're coming up on it, and I see Brian duck down, and I hear Johnny go, "Yeah, I'm pitting for tires." And I was like, "All right, I'm pitting too for tires," and I cold-heartedly believe that was the right decision at the end of the day. Um,
Oh, for
got
sure.
myself in. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was gonna
Um.
say for sure. It's just that when Brian came in, he actually when he elected to grab a splash of fuel,
Oh, okay.
he didn't bolt on tires, and I thought that was an interesting strategy because with you guys having only 3 additional sets, if there was another caution, perhaps in like 10 or 15 laps, the degradation of the tires is so much here that that would actually kind of like be a big strategy.
Yeah, yeah, and that was I had kind of thought about it for like a second or so, but I knew if I were gonna have a chance against Brian or Dale or any of the top five, I was gonna need tires. Like there was no way around it.
Yeah, 100%.
Um,
You had a little solo spin there. What happened? Did cold tires get you?
I was just gonna talk about that. Yeah, cold tires got me. I was trying to, and correct me on this. I don't exactly remember if Brian was behind me at this point or in front of me. But I want to say he was behind me, and if he was, I was trying to keep him behind me and keep him and Dale and some of those others behind me, and I just one uh rolled into the throttle too aggressively, and then I just gassed it up way too soon for cold tires. And then I gassed it up again. That way I'd spin around and just prayed that no one clobbered me.
Yeah, you were very fortunate there. Very, very fortunate. But you were able to
Yeah.
fight back and, did a great job of navigating the field. A bunch of great passes and respectful driving from really everyone in the field because you saw yourself, Adamson, and Hurst on that similar tire strategy. And you just kind of moved up and started navigating the field. And, as you caught Aguiar, Hennings, and Copperthorne and Manning, like the 78 machine, held on for a heck of a long time before his tires
Mm-hmm.
faded out. And that was proving very hard for drivers to pass on those older tires as he was good at protecting the high side, right? So I just really appreciated, from my perspective, the type of racing that we saw tonight.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. It kind of surprised me how much of a fight he put up. And able to stay like door to door with me as well. Like I want to give kudos to him because like I'm sure that he was battling his ass off to um stay in that scenario and to hang on my outside like that. I know that can be hard to do, especially with someone surging with fresher tires. Um, but yeah, that's some good battling. Throughout the field. I enjoyed it. I love coming here. Um, I can't wait until they get the rescan of Iowa in here. It'll make it more interesting, I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%. So you're going into Auto Club with a 2 point lead on the championship. Are you going to be doing your homework? Are you going to three-peat, go 3 wins back to back? Like, what's your
Um,
plan going into Auto Club?
I'm gonna try to three-peat. It's very hard to do. It's very hard to do in this league. I've never done it in this league. I've only been able to do back to back. that was very hard to do. You gotta have some luck involved, just like I was able to tonight. But yes, I am definitely gonna be doing my homework and stuff like that because it's a challenging track. It can be challenging, frustrating, but fun all in the same sense rolled into one.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Jimmy, congrats on your P1 tonight and taking home the victory. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
I Like always, I want to give a shout out to you guys, Speed Zone TV, um, James Wagner's Welding, both of y'all for sponsoring and putting the show on and allowing all of our family members, admins, dogs, cats, everyone to watch. Um, it's so cool to be able to go back and watch these league races. I enjoy it. Um, I would also like to give a shout out to my family, my brother, my sister-in-law, my little nephews, my buddy Adam, my buddy Dylan, Evan, Kyle. Oh gosh, I'm sure I'm missing a couple here. But all the support I get from my family and friends from my sim racing, it's much appreciated, and I love it.
Well, heck yeah, sir. Well, you get all planned up and ready for Auto Club next week and then Talladega after that. And I hope to be seeing you again in the booth.
Hopefully, I hope to be talking to you again in the booth soon, Robert.
All right. Well, congrats again, Jimmy. Have a good night.
You too.
That was our P1 finisher, Jimmy Rowdy Pylon. Back-to-back wins on the season, taking a 2-point lead into next week's Auto Club race. Just to recap some of the stats, you saw the 74 machine of Hennings have a pretty dominating run. He led 58 laps tonight. Unfortunately, fell back a little bit later in the run because of a tire strategy. You saw the 30 machine of Wagoner leading 47 laps tonight. Crazy if you think about both of those drivers leading 2/3 of the race. And then as well as Adamson, who led 17 laps. Impressive, but totaling out the last set of lead laps was that 29 machine of Pylon with 27 laps led. But the most important one was led at the end, and that was the last lap that captured the checkered flag. So hats off to Pylon, our winner tonight. Let's take a second to recap our finishers and take a look at what happened as far as where everyone finished for tonight. So we'll just click one back here. Let's see what happens. Our winner tonight, just as we interviewed, was Pylon, the 29 machine. Hurst in the 3 machine in second, Adamson in third, and that 46 machine fourth is Aguiar, and the 08, the 30 of James Dougie Wagner in fifth. Great run by him. Copperthorne in sixth in that 98 truck. Hennings in seventh, that 74 machine. Manning in eighth in the 78 machine. 44 of Presley in ninth. Ramsey in the 13 truck, rounding out the top 10. Benjamin Richards in 56 in 11th. 05 of Lussier in 12th. BB, we saw a bunch of different runs and strategies from him tonight with an unfortunate contact as well, rounding out 13th position. 84 machine of Hawkins in 14th. Feidler in the 66 Moser machine in 15th. Wilkinson debuting tonight. We haven't seen him this season in the 18 McDonald's truck in 16th, 17th to the 27 of Hunter. Tony Richards, 29 laps, unfortunately down, had some damage in the 52 machine. Barker, you saw him hard contact with the wall and had to park in the pits there and get that damage done. Will be in the 19th position. Sprinkle, we saw him hard contact the wall, just hooking it out to the wall, and then I believe Ramsey getting into him. That 77 machine. He had a great run, but unfortunately wasn't able to get it done tonight. And then rounding out field is Fairman, and we saw him have some tough contact as well. So that's going to be our broadcast for tonight. Shout out to Wagoner's Welding for sponsoring the Roughneck Racing Series that's happening here. Season number 6, and we're Speed Zone TV, so thank you for tuning in and watching. To me, it's been a great broadcast. We saw some great racing tonight. Multiple groove track, a few cautions, few snags. You know, that's going to happen with short track racing at a 7/8 mile with, varying turns, varying banks. Turn 1 has definitely some bumps in it that you have to watch out for. And these drivers put on a fantastic show for you guys. So we'll be back next week at around 7:25 p.m. EST to bring you some action of Auto Club, and then off to Talladega, Nashville Super Speedway, Charlotte, North Wilkesboro, and Kansas. Only 6 races left in the season. We have one heck of a points battle that is popping off here for season 6 for the Wagoner's Welding Truck Series. And, oh, there it happened, just right in front of us. Violin solo spin with Hurst. They're pirouetting. It's beautiful. Anyways, we've had some great action, great points battling here, bunch of respectful driving, and we at Speed Zone TV, I'm Robert Warrens, happy to be here and bring you this action live. Make sure you're sharing out the post, sharing out the stream, and throwing a like on it. Do whatever you need to do. But we'll be back next week for some more great action. So once again, thank you for tuning in, and have a good night.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding.